Welcome to UND Sports Extra. I'm your host, Dan Hammer. It was a successful Big Sky opener for the UND football team. Head coach Bubba Schweigert is with us in just seconds to recap UND's win over UC Davis and look ahead to what should be a defensive showdown with Portland State. Will Ratelle, playing big-time football, will feature the senior linebacker. And later in the show, volleyball coach Mark Pryor joins us. North Dakota defeated UC Davis 31-24 in the Big Sky Conference opener this past Saturday at the Alerus Center. We welcome back head coach Bubba Schweigert. Bubba, going into each game, you kind of have a checklist in terms of things you hope to accomplish. You accomplished a lot of positive things Saturday.
Well, we did. We needed to run the football better again, and we did that and ran the football consistently, and then we had to stop the run and be more consistent on defense, and I thought we did that for most of the day.
Made some changes along the offensive line. Sean Meehan moved to right guard, Matt Cox to right tackle. How do you think they played overall?
Sean was real solid on the inside. Matt, his first start, and he's making progress, and that's what's going to happen with young guys when they get in there for the first time. Elijah Grady also got a little time at tackle, and we're just looking to find the right combinations and giving guys opportunities.
How about on the back end of your defense with Juwan Johnson starting and also Tyus Carter getting his first career start at corner?
Pretty solid day. You saw Juwan fill the alley. That's one of his strengths, and he does a good job of that. And Tyus was real solid. He graded out really well throughout the game.
All right, 31-24. We'll break down the highlights and hear from the players coming up next.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota, RidellCars.com, and Farmers Union Insurance.
Let's take a look at the highlights, Bubba, as you beat UC Davis in your Big Sky Conference opener at the Alerus Center, and the opening kickoff of the game would really be a preview of one of the storylines in the game, and it would be true freshman John Santiago. What a day he had overall, all-purpose-wise, 246 yards all-purpose. This is the opening kickoff of the game.
Yeah, very good return here, and we were really happy with our guys' execution. We had really guys executing the blocks and getting to the right men and created good field position for us in the opening drive.
You wanted to make UC Davis defend you laterally in this game, correct?
Yeah, and early on we gave it to Awari here. We just needed to get him the ball, and he's got really good speed, so it was to help loosen up the defense a little bit.
12 of your first 13 plays in this game were running plays.
Yeah, and John's real patient here. You see he waits for the crease and just ran the ball effectively. The guys got on the right people, and we were allowed to be effective.
Jacob Francis, number 40, your converted offensive lineman at fullback, making some blocks for you here on Saturday.
Yeah, another guy getting an opportunity to contribute, and that's what we like to see, a lot of guys involved.
Opening scoring drive here. You get an early touchdown. Great blocking on the edge for Santiago's touchdown run.
Yeah, the guys cut him down, and that wasn't the only time of the day, but John's got the speed to get to the edge and executed well.
Kind of set the tone defensively early, too, in this game.
Yeah, Will Ratelle all over the field, and very good football player. We're really happy with the way he's performing at this point.
Here's something you've been looking for. Your first interception of the season, Deion Harris.
Yeah, I needed to do that, and Deion comes up with the big play. We thought maybe a pick six there, but short field for the offense.
Yeah, short field and a great throw and catcher. Studsrud to Zach Adler, releasing out of the stacked I formation.
Yeah, really good touch on the ball. One guy has an opportunity to catch it, and Zach makes a really excellent catch for the score.
Pretty much a perfect start to the game for you. A touchdown, force a turnover, get another touchdown, 14-0. Mitch Mindell has been a big-time difference maker in the punt game this year for you, Bubba.
Really creating some field position for us. He's flipped the field, averaging 48 yards a punt, and several of those punts at times over 50 yards. Here we get a little break with one of them. He mishits it.
But it's away from Chris Martin.
Yeah, and he's dangerous, so that was not all bad for us that the ball hit the ground there, and we got a good roll.
Thought this was a real important play of the game. It's 14-10 here in the second quarter, and Chris Martin breaks a long return, but then you force the fumble and you recover the fumble.
Yeah, we teach our guys on defense and special teams at the end of every play is a turnover. So even though that wasn't a great coverage by us, the guys hustled after the ball, stripped it, and got the ball back, and big turning point in the game.
I thought so because, Davis scores there. They take the lead. Instead, Santiago running with purpose, wasn't he, on Saturday?
Yeah, very good. Once he got in the secondary, he's elusive and showed some real toughness getting extra yards.
Late first half, now you take advantage of that turnover. Studsrud to Saratino, and then you cap it off with a touchdown. A real swing, positive swing, as you go to the half here leading 21-10.
Yeah, Luke makes the catch there, and always tough on an opponent if you can score late in the half, and then we come out the second half and do the same.
Brandon Anderson had to huff it up a little bit after recovering the fumble, staying on the field offensively there late in the first half.
Yeah, great hustle by him. You know, that's with the shield punt. You're going to have some big bodies out there, and he's one of them.
So the late touchdown at the half puts you up 21-10. You're in good position. Let's take a look at second half highlights now. And you spoke of Will Ratelle early in the day, a career day. 15 tackles and 12 solo tackles. He's playing high-level football these days.
Yeah, he really is. And along with all the tackles, he's really playing well assignment-wise and running our defense.
Just crushing people. Look at that tackle right there.
Yeah, very solid tackle. You know, no yards after contact.
You know, he's a guy that finally got a chance to play every down last season. It certainly paid off.
Yeah, I think you get better, you know, but he's also able to play every down. He also plays some special teams for us. He's very good condition and a real strong guy that can take all those snaps.
Cole Reyes had added responsibility moving to free safety. He had a big day on Saturday for your defense.
Yeah, he was very active, and he's got a real knack for getting off of blocks and somehow getting guys down in the open field.
John Santiago seemed to be really reading well today, Saturday. That was a patient play with him right there initially.
That's the big difference. He waited for the blocks to happen before he ran up in there, and really had a good day running the football.
Santiago with a career high 152 yards rushing. There's Studsrud, and here's Zach Adler with another great block on the perimeter. He had a real blue-collar, physical kind of day for you in the blocking game.
Yeah, that's what we see and evaluate on Sundays. You know, it isn't all about the guys that get the yards. It's about the guys taking care of their business and doing their job and grading out well.
Yeah, so you kind of get things going here. You're feeling pretty good about where the game is at this point.
Yeah, you know, we weren't throwing the ball as well as we'd like, but we were sure we're getting yards on the ground and controlling the tempo of the game.
You pulled quite a bit on Saturday, didn't you?
Well, we got the ball to the perimeter
a
little bit more, and that was by design, and just needed to do that. Here we see Reed making a kick, big kick, you know, to put points on the board.
Yeah, 46-yarder, season long for Reed Taubenheim. But again, this game gets a little interesting down the wire here. UC Davis converts on a fourth down play here, and then they'll get in the touchdown to get within a touchdown.
Yeah, you know, a one-score game, and that's why you got to keep playing the entire game. We really made a poor choice on a special team and had a penalty that allowed them to continue their drive, and we just got to avoid mistakes like that, and we're going to use every moment for a teaching moment.
Santiago, back to the races, and I'm sure you loved the way that you closed out this game. You played keep away over the final 6 minutes of the game to deserve the win.
Yeah, very happy with our offense here. You know, get the ball back with 6 minutes left and run out the clock, and we're able to take a knee to end the game.
Awari Smith on the day. Santiago also cares what you think of Awari, who got his most work as a true freshman as well.
Well, it was good to see him get the ball and take care of it, and then you'll see his final run here, real patient and kind of just straight ahead run that gets the first down, and now we're able to ice out the game.
And you do with a 10-play, 63-yard drive that consumed the final 6 minutes and 7 seconds of the game, 31-24. They're the final. Your players after the game looking back at what was a strong day up front and a strong game in the run game.
You could tell we were running the ball a lot better. We had 200-plus yards on the ground versus what we had last week, which is not very many. So I think we're really moving in the right direction. Everyone's really fighting for all the positions, so no one's just being complacent. So I think we're going in the right direction.
We came into this game really prepared, and over the past week we've been studying with the linemen, so that's another key component of why we have been getting better and better. I mean, it's repetition after repetition. But yeah, the key is basically that we knew our assignment coming into this game.
The offense was rolling, so as a defense we can't ask for more than that. We made a couple mistakes here and there on defense that are fixable, and I mean, we're just happy. The locker room's happy, coach is happy. We're all just having a good time, and it feels good to get that first Big Sky win under the belt. We haven't gotten a turnover on defense yet, so I mean, to see Dion break on that ball and return it was just a good start to the game. I mean, we were already up 7-0.
That fired us up because we haven't got a turnover yet this season until that. And we missed some opportunities for turnovers previous games. So that was really, really good to see. It fired all of us up. We were all excited on the sidelines and right after that play. So that was cool.
They got a couple big plays on us, but Coach Smith's big emphasis was no passes over 20 yards. I mean, we did limit them well to that. I think overall we were getting good pressure up front, and they made it easier on us. So overall as a defense, just a good performance, I think.
This game definitely brings the confidence up a little bit, So, I mean, hopefully we can carry this win on to next weekend against Portland State.
And that man, Will Ratelle, was the leader of the defense on Saturday. We'll have more on the senior linebacker next.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota, RidellCars.com, and Farmers Union Insurance.
Two players grabbed weekly honors after their efforts against UC Davis. John Santiago was named the National Freshman of the Week, 246 all-purpose yards, including a career-high 152 yards rushing. And Mitch Mindell, the Big Sky Conference Special Teams Player of the Week. He averaged more than 50 yards per punt Saturday and leads the FCS nationally with over 48 yards per punt. Imagine 250 pounds coming at you with speed. That's what ball carriers and receivers are seeing these days as number 51, Will Ratelle, draws bead. Greg Ankers has more.
On for UC Davis, looking to tie the football game. Will Ratelle, oh my goodness, 69 yards rushing last week, but no goals. Will Ratelle, and he's going nowhere. Look at the pursuit, but it's all led again by Will Ratelle.
I just studied what the film was supposed to show me, just lined up correctly, did what my coaches told me to do. And like I said, if you do that, you're going to be in good shape, good position to make plays. So just got to keep doing that every game now.
His approach is simple, but his action on the field leaves opposing offenses scratching their heads.
I'm so comfortable with him in front of me, it's unreal. So he's a good leader. I mean, he's a good tackler. He's all over the field. You can just find him wherever the ball is. That's where Will is. So he's a great player and someone great to look up to.
As a senior this year, middle linebacker Will Ratelle is leaving an everlasting footprint on the North Dakota football program. He leads the team in tackles, solo stops, tackles for loss, and sacks this season.
During game day, he can be intense at some times, but he's always there to calm us down and make sure we're all right. If something goes wrong, we know we can look to Will for advice.
But it's not just the leadership he brings on the field. It's also what he accomplishes off it. Ratelle holds two prestigious records at UND for defensive players, the bench press and the power clean.
I think all the eyes turn his way. I mean, it's a sight to see. I mean, the kid, he's so explosive. He's probably one of the most athletic guys I've ever seen before, and he's so explosive, and he can just pound for pound the strongest guy probably I've seen.
For Ratelle, football is his call to duty, and it's something he takes very seriously each and every day.
It's a big responsibility, especially being a senior and being a captain on the team. People got to look up to you. You got to have people follow you. I just want to have the best season as I can, get the most out of it, build some good relationships, and then just be very successful on the field too.
Bubba, after the last couple of weeks, people are saying, gee, we see a little Digger Anderson in Will Ratelle.
Well, he's a very good player and playing at a high level right now, and we're happy to have him, that's for sure.
All right, Portland State on the road this weekend. When you look at Portland State, you see some of yourself. They like to run. They're very good at defending the run as well.
Yeah, they are. It's going to be quite a matchup. It's going to be a very physical game against two teams that want to run the football, and something's got to give. But, the focus really needs to be on our preparation to go on the road and get a win against a top-ranked team in the country.
Yeah, they've been very opportunistic. 7 interceptions on the year as we take a look at Portland State here. What are you seeing out of their defense this year?
Well, they're very active, and they are opportunistic. And what they do is they got a lot of pressure on the quarterback, and their defensive backs are really active and able to get to the ball. We think they really run well in the secondary. So we got to take care of the ball and not give them those opportunities. But this is a team playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Kind of an interesting situation out there. Bruce Barnum is the interim head coach. They're actually taking applications for the full-time head coaching job, and he's got him ranked in the top 20.
Yeah, I met Coach Barnum this summer, and I think he's really brought a lot of energy to their team and their program. He's a tough guy and really wants to play a hard-nosed style of football.
Bubba, what's on your must-do list as you head to Portland Saturday?
Well, we got to throw the ball a little bit better and more effectively in the passing game to be more balanced on offense, and then we really have to tackle well in space. They're very talented on offense, and play 3 guys at times, maybe 4 that are listed at quarterback. So
Yeah.
that means they're getting a lot of talent on the field.
Right. UND fans will remember Kieran McDonough, who started as a true freshman, but he's not playing as much quarterback as he once was.
No, he's playing a lot of receiver, and they're getting him involved in the game, but they have an awful lot of talent. We're going to have to tackle well in space.
All right, Bubba, good luck in Portland on Saturday. We'll recap the game next week.
Thank you.
We've got more coming up next year on UND Sports Extra.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota, RidelCars.com, and Farmers Union Insurance.
Welcome back. The chase for the Big Sky Conference Volleyball Championship is underway. UND opened conference play this past week. A chuckling head coach Mark Pryor back with us. Coach, how you doing? You're coming off the road after going 1-1 at Eastern Washington and Idaho.
Yeah, we're glad to be home. There's no doubt.
You have been on the road practically all season.
Yes. We're ready to be home. We got our next 5 at home, and that should really help us out and help the kids get to class a little bit and be a college student.
Yeah, what kind of impressions did your team leave with you from this past road trip?
The impressions, let's see. Number 1, I need to have a lot more Pepto-Bismol. Upset stomach watching them play. We played 8 sets, and 3 were very memorable. The other 5, not so much.
Right.
It's the same thing we've talked about all year, inconsistency.
The ups and downs that you
Yeah.
figured you would face with an inexperienced team.
Right.
Yeah. So the 1-1, you would take that with this road
We'll
trip?
take that, especially anytime you can steal wins on the road. That's great. I think the issue that why our kids and our staff were a little upset, I think we really left one out there. I think that if we just cleaned up a few things, we flipped that Eastern Washington match. When you lose 22-25 and 23-25 and 20 hitting errors, a couple quick changes, and all of a sudden we're up 2-1, and we're going into the 4th to close it out.
Yeah, as we take a look at some highlights of the backdrop here from Eastern Washington. Again, if you would have played a bit cleaner volleyball, you'd be 2-0 right now.
I really believe so. And you got to credit them. They came out with great energy, great passion. They were still a little ticked off. Last year against them at their place, they were up 2-0. It's their senior night, and then we just rolled them the next 3. They had some kids that I think still were a little ticked off about that. Good for them. So it's a good learning experience for us. Hopefully we'll be better next time we're in that situation.
Right, so that was a win Eastern Washington on Thursday night, 3-0 there. Chelsea Mosier led your team with 10 kills. Sydney Griffin had 34 assists. And then you turn the page to Saturday at Idaho, and this would be another game in which you would outlast Idaho to come home with a win.
If we're playing Idaho, it's pretty much going to go 5. We've played them
Seems
3
like
times. First one was 18-20 in the 5th, 15-11 in the 5th, and this one was 15-9 in the 5th. So it's a fun match. It's a fun rivalry.
They're always big. So what kind of challenges does that present to you anytime you're playing Idaho?
Idaho, the big thing for us is just not really worrying about, yes, they might outblock us. Yes, they're probably going to get a lot of touches on the ball. Just staying consistent.
Your hitting percentages this past week, not really what your expectations are, match in and match out. Where do you go from here on that?
Well, I think we being back in the gym where we can actually practice, having everyone in the gym where we can practice and work on cleaning up some things, I think that's going to be huge for us. I had a really good practice today. We're able to look at some things. I think that those will start to go up as we're home for a little bit. They're always a little better at home than they are on the road. I think this weekend was a little bit of an anomaly. We had 2 sets that were really bad that kind of skewed those hitting numbers a little bit.
Right. So you're home now for 5 straight. That's
Yes.
welcome news to you and your team. You've got the Montana schools this weekend, Montana State, Thursday and Saturday. Give us a preview of the weekend as you see it.
Montana's got a really good left side that transferred in from West Virginia, so she's got Big 12 experience. Plus, they've got a fifth-year senior middle who was first-team all-conference. And then Montana State's got 3 outside hitters that can all really play the game. So 2 very different styles of play. It's going to be fun. We're just happy we're at home.
Right. And again, Thursday and Saturday.
Yes.
Thursday at 7 at the Betty. Saturday at noon
Yes.
at the Betty. And again, a 5-match home streak here. So a chance for you to build a little momentum and maybe build some consistency?
That's the goal. I think the first thing is just to kind of really worry about our 900 square feet first. Let's take care of that. If we clean up a few things, that's going to make us a lot more formidable long term.
Right. Courtney Place looks to be playing pretty consistent for you as a freshman.
She is. It's one of those things everybody's like, well, she's doing this, and we don't want to put too much pressure on her yet. We're just asking her to do her job. We're not trying to feed the ball to her too much, but she's doing well. The next part of her development is going to, becoming a better blocker, better defender. But when it comes to passing and hitting, she's doing a really good job for us.
All right. 5-match homestand coming up here, and it kicks off Thursday night and then Saturday at the Betty. We'll recap those matches next weekend.
Sounds good.
Thanks, Mark, for your time. We're back with more right after this.
UND Sports Extra on Midco Sports Network is presented by the University of North Dakota, RidellCars.com, and Farmers Union Insurance.
Coming up next week on UND Sports Extra, we'll review North Dakota's date with Portland State and Big Sky football this weekend. Should be a heck of a defensive battle in Portland. And coming up Saturday, the hockey season begins here on Midco Sports Network as UND hosts Manitoba in the exhibition opener. You'll see that game live Saturday night at 7 on Midco Sports Network 2. That's channel 322. And we have more hockey next with the season debut of North Dakota hockey with Brad Barry.